and I just hear people around the corner talking very loudly. Okay, they're very loud, and I hear, yeah, what's the new girl name? Denisha. Who she thinks she is, coming up in here like she the boss. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Denisha back with a new video. In today's video, we are going to talk about how God will use your very enemies to send you a blessing. Now, let's make a quick disclaimer. Today's mukbang is going to feature some grilled chicken. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see that. Some grilled chicken and some mixed vegetables. Now, most of the time when people do these mukbangs, they be being big bags. Okay, and I have done a mukbang like that in the past, me and my husband. If you watched a few of my videos, you'll know that I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to defeat the spirit of gluttony that I've been trying to defeat, okay? So I can't be trying to do that and influencing y'all to eat stuff that we really shouldn't be eating. I mean, I feel like every once in a while, you know, have a little fun, but on a day-to-day basis, I be trying to do better. So if I can inspire you to eat a little healthy, a little healthier, then that's cool. We got our water right here. Make sure y'all drinking y'all water too, staying hydrated. Very, very important. So today's video, I'm gonna be telling y'all probably 2 to 3 stories on times that I've dealt with this myself. So I won't be mentioning any names, okay? Because I'm not a drama person. I like my peace. I'm just not that person at all. And I won't be mentioning any just specific details that would give away who I'm talking about. And I don't believe I've mentioned these stories on my channel before because I don't like talking about stuff when it's too fresh, you know? Sometimes you gotta let a little bit of some time go by before you really talk about it, you know? And just another quick disclaimer, I'm looking crazy, y'all, but today's a chill day. I didn't even go to the gym. That's how you know I'm for real chilling today, okay? It's one of those type of days. But let's get right into it though, without further ado. So the first story I want to come to y'all about is a particular job that I worked. I won't say the name of the company, but I worked for this job, and on the job, I had a boss who, I hate to say I don't like her, because I'm not one of those people that's quick to just not like somebody. You really have to give me a reason to say I don't like you, you know, because I try to get along with everybody. Obviously, you can't, because some people just make it really impossible to really get along with them, but that's just the type of person I am. I'm very chill, you know, try to just see the best and see the good in everybody. But this particular boss that I had, she was, I guess our personalities would clash, because like I said, I'm very chill. She was more so drill sergeant like is the best way I could think to say it, and I actually think she used to be in the military if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, she kind of was a little harsh, a little brutal. When I first met her, she did not seem anything like that. She seemed very relatable, very, I don't know, just a people person. But when I started working for her, you know, when I finally got hired on, I just saw this shift, and I was like, whoa, is this the person who interviewed me? But I came to realize that I was not the only one who felt that way. Apparently, a lot of other people felt that way. And I remember praying to God, because I had just started the job. And I remember praying to God, and I said, Lord, what am I going to do? Because either I'm going to have to leave and go somewhere else, or she going to have to leave and go somewhere else, because this ain't working. This ain't going to work. Okay? I don't know how you going to do it, God, but I need you to do it, Lord. I'm serious. That's literally what I prayed. I said, Lord, this is not going to work. One of us got to go. Okay? And so it's funny because not long after I prayed that prayer, she went on a vacation. And when she went on a vacation, a lot of people were just talking bad about her, saying all type of stuff. And I could have easily joined in on them conversations, but you know the Bible say, bless those who curse you, you know, do good to those who despise you, you know, stuff like that. So I knew that although I had the feelings I had towards her, I couldn't indulge in those conversations because God was watching me and he would not approve. And I actually was just reading in Proverbs, I want to say 3 days ago, I was reading that God said that we should not rejoice when our enemies stumble or fall, or else God will see that, disapprove, and then remove his wrath from them. So although people may be doing wrong to us, God don't want us to rejoice when they fall or when we hear people talk bad about them. That's not the heart that God wants us to have. He wants us to remain humble at all times. So, although I may have been tempted to join in on them conversations, I decided not to because I fear God and I reverence the Lord and His word. So, I try to stay as neutral as I could. I would be like, I understand why you say that, but look at it this way. Just trying to stay as neutral as I can. But y'all know, I felt how I really felt. And I remember one day, now this part of the story I did mention in another video. One day I was working very hard, and actually I always work really hard, but on this particular day everybody was sitting down because keep in mind my boss is still on vacation at this point. Everybody's sitting down, chilling, doing absolutely nothing, even though we are still in business hours and we should be in fact working. Everybody was just chilling for the most part, and I was one of the only few people actually still working and working hard. And I remember one of my coworkers, he came up to me and he said, "Denisha, you know you don't gotta work that hard, right? Boss lady ain't here." And I said, "It don't matter who's here. This is just who I am. I work the same whether the higher up bosses are here or not." And he didn't even say nothing. He just walked off. He probably felt convicted in that moment, but it's true. I decide to work the same no matter who's around, no matter who's watching. And my bad, y'all. I don't know how people do this. How they talk and do mukbangs. I don't know how they do it, but I just felt like God wanted me to be of excellence in everything that I did. I never was late to work. I did not call off, even though I wasn't there for that long because God had moved us eventually. But in the time that I was there, I was never late, never called off. I worked extremely hard, no matter if the big bosses was in the building or not. If I thought people was watching or not, I always worked hard because I felt that's just what God wanted me to do. And I would have times of saying, "God, if it's just all in vain? Am I putting all this work into the job for nothing? Because I don't even feel like you really want me to stay here. Like, this is not my passion. So why would I work this hard?" And although I had those feelings, I still kept pushing. I still kept working hard. And so it's funny though, because when my boss finally got back from vacation, and she was gone for a minute, but when she finally, and by the way, I feel like her going on that long vacation was God answering my prayers, because He knew I was for real. I was like, "God, I don't know how this is gonna work. One of us gotta go." But when she came back, I just was like, that was a little break, because it was starting to get to be a bit much. I was almost gonna quit. I'm not gonna lie. So her going on that vacation, I do kind of feel like was the answered prayer. I'm not gonna lie. But when she got back, she saw me. She was really happy to see me, and she even gave me a hug. And I remember being so shocked, because I was like, "What, me? You are happy to see me?" And I didn't see her do that she was happy to, like, she showed that she was happy to see everybody else, but she didn't show that much, like, expression as opposed to what she did with me. And so I was just, like, really shocked. And then it came time for me to have to leave because God ended up moving me and my husband, and I wasn't at that job for very long at all. The longest I was there was probably 3 months at most, which is crazy. But I remember I had to put my 2 weeks notice in, and I had told her, well, she told me, she was like, "Why haven't you just did a transfer?" And I said, "I didn't know, because word on the street from my other coworkers was that you had to have been with the company at least for 6 months before you can try to transfer." So I was under the impression that I couldn't transfer and that I had no choice but to just put a 2 weeks notice in, since I was moving to a whole new state. But she was like, "No, you can do that. I can help you." I was like, "You could do what?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll help you. I know people, within the company. I have connections. I'll help you." And right there, I was just shocked. I said, "What?" And not only that, but she gave me a compliment that I did not see coming. She said, "And I want to thank you because you come to work, you mind your business, you're a hard worker, you have an amazing work ethic." She said, "You are top 3, one of the best employees I've ever hired." Y'all, my mouth almost dropped open right there. I did not see that coming, because I just told y'all how I felt towards her. Now, of course, I told y'all I didn't voice it. I didn't, talk down on her. I tried to stay as neutral as I could with my coworkers who was also saying stuff about her. So when she said that to me, I was very shocked. But I knew it was nothing to nobody but God. Because God reminded me, he said, remember those days when your coworkers were sitting around, not putting in that work because the boss was on vacation. She wasn't around. So they thought that they could slack. But remember when I had you still working hard? Remember when I told you to still work even harder now that the boss is not around? Remember that? This is why. Because when you thought that it was for no reason, I was working something out in the background. My ways are higher. My thoughts and ways are higher than yours, daughter. You don't know what I'm doing. So when that happened to me, I just was like, wow. God's word is true. He don't lie. And I don't necessarily want to call my previous boss my enemy per se, but it's kind of the same concept of God will use those who may have been like a hindrance maybe in some ways. He will use those very people to bless you, because she did help me. She had connections that helped me stay within the company. And other people were mad because they were like, she haven't even been here for that long. How was she able to transfer? A lot of people were hating. But that's the favor of God. God used that very person who I didn't see eye to eye with to bless me and elevate me. And I can't take no credit for that. I can't take no glory for that. I'm going to tell y'all another situation. I had a few jobs, y'all. So I ain't going to say no names, and I'm trying not to give too much away so where people could guess what places I'm talking about. But I had another position to where I used to work for this company for a few years. And when I moved with my husband to Indiana, I had transferred. That job I actually did transfer. But when I transferred, I had a shift that was 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, if you're in the workforce, that's a really good schedule. 7 to 3, you in there and you out of there. You still got the rest of your day. But it was a lot of people who had been with the company for years who were upset that I had that schedule. They like, who is she? But hold on, I'm going to get to that. I don't want to give away too much. But when I first got there, it was a cultural shock because my previous, when I was still in the company, but the previous location that I worked at, they just did things really different. So when I got to this new location, I was like, oh, okay. It took a little bit of some time to adjust. Granted, I only worked this job less than a week. But when I first got there, I remember it really wasn't like people weren't being that welcoming to me. Granted, it was that specific job, occupation or whatever, it's pretty stressful, so I can understand that. But they had a lot more order than the previous location I worked at. I guess that's like the biggest shock that I had experienced, was like, wow, they really have their stuff together compared to the location I had just come from. But anywho, I just noticed like people weren't that welcoming to me. I really couldn't figure out why. But I remember the very last day that I worked there, I came in, I had not even clocked in all the way yet, y'all. I'm at the kiosk getting ready to clock in, getting ready to punch my numbers in or whatever. And I just hear people around the corner talking very loudly, okay? They're very loud. And I hear, yeah, what's the new girl name? Denisha? Who she thinks she is coming up in here like she the boss? That B word, just all type of stuff, y'all. Just talking about me like I'm a dirty dog. And if you know me, y'all maybe y'all can sense it through my videos. I don't know, but if you know me, I am not a problematic person. I stay to myself. I go to work. When I was working, I went to work, did the work, and went back home. I really didn't even make friends for real because I wasn't there to do that. I was there to make money and go home. You know what I'm saying? And learn the skills that I was going to take with me to whatever other job or wherever God was leading me to. But I was there for specific reasons no matter what job I worked. So for them to be talking about me like that, you can imagine that was just like, what? That came out of left field, because I'm not even that type of person. And I didn't even know these people long enough for them to be talking about me like that. Because I told y'all I only worked there for, I'm not going to say how many days, less than a week. Because if I say how many days, I don't know if people will be able to figure out where it was. But less than a week I worked there. So I'm around the corner, I'm hearing them talking about me. Now keep in mind, I'm not even punched in yet. This is me at the kiosk. I'm punching my numbers in. The manager is standing in a position so where he could see me, and then he could see the girls around the corner talking about me. So it's like a doorway, and he's standing right in the middle of it, looking at me and looking at them. And he just got this blank look on his face. I'm looking at him, not like I'm frozen, just looking at him like, he looking at me like, and then looking at them like, he got the most guilty look on his face, because I feel like before I got there, he was talking about me too. That's why his face looked so guilty. But he just looking like, he don't know what to say. Obviously, he can't tell him to stop talking because I'm right there. But I finished clocking in. I walked past the girls. No, first, I forgot about this part. Before I finished clocking in, the girls, I guess they was finished talking about me. And they came over. They didn't know I was over there, but they ended up coming over to where I'm at by the kiosk. And they whole demeanor changed, y'all, when they realized that I was right there. And the main one that was talking about me, she was like, "Oh, honey, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about another girl." Y'all, I wanted to fight. And like I said, I am not that person. I'm so to myself. I don't mess with nobody. I was like, the phoniness that you, and this lady, I don't even know how old she was, but she had to have been at least 2 times older than me, at least. And she's acting like that, acting younger than me. So she come over there, "Oh, honey, I wasn't talking about you," putting her hand on my shoulder. I just brushed past her. I said, and I just brushed past her. And I went into the bathroom, and I'm texting my husband. I haven't even taken my coat off yet. It's the dead of winter. I'm texting my husband, just mad. I'm like, I'm just letting you know, I'm very mad right now. I'm going to try to still work my shift, but I just want you to know what's going on right now. These ladies is over here talking about me, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, okay. He's like, okay, just let me know. And I go, first of all, I pray. I said, "God, give me the strength to work this shift. I'm going to try to push through, but I'm very upset right now. Please don't let me put my hands on nobody. Like, just help me, God." Okay, that was like the most like sincerest prayer ever, because I didn't know, I was really mad. Okay, I don't know, I was just really mad. So I take my coat off, put my coat up, go out on the floor to go work. And from that point on, I kind of was just trying to keep my distance. Again, I kind of did that already, just to myself. Tell me why. First of all, I want to say about an hour or so, maybe even less than an hour, maybe like 35 to 40 minutes go by. I'm just, working my shift, minding my business, whatever. It's actually kind of slow because typically, first of all, it was snowing, and then on top of that, it was really early, so it wasn't really many people there. Anyway, I'm just working. Tell me why these girls are talking about me again. I guess they thought I was somewhere far off. I don't know. But I go to where they at, and they talking about me again. I don't know what it was, y'all, but something in me just got triggered. Like, I just got like really mad. And I did get out of character. I'm not proud of that, but y'all, like, I don't know, they just kept talking. And so I find myself yelling. I said a few swear words, y'all, okay? I think this was 3 years ago. Yeah, this was about 3 years ago. So the Lord, he don't work on me since, y'all. but I ended up saying all these swear words. The main person that was talking about me ended up saying, she was trying to deny it. And I said, "You fake," and y'all, it was bad. I was screaming to the top of my lungs. And I was screaming at the manager too, because he was not managing. He was just standing there looking dumbfounded. And I'm just like, "You too." I don't even remember everything I said, but I got on the manager. I got on all the ladies that was talking about me. It was another lady that was walking. She had walked to her car, my husband's, because he pulled up. I don't remember if I texted him or what, but somehow he was there already. And he told me that the lady that walked out, he thought she was going to her car to get something. So he was on guard. He was like, "Oh, I was getting ready to, But she tried to say, it wasn't me. I said, "No, yes, it was you." I was like going in on the whole place, y'all. And that is not me. Like, anybody who know me, like, I went back home and I told everybody what happened, and they were shocked. They said the first reason they were shocked is because that situation, period. Like, I'm not the person to be in those situations. You know, I'm very low key. And number two, they were shocked because of how I, you know, exploded. And I shocked myself too. I didn't know I had all that in me. But I learned that day, okay? And they did too. But anyway, just to kind of wrap that situation up, what they didn't know and what all the managers of that place didn't know is that I had connections with the district managers, okay? The district managers over that region and the district managers over the region that I had just come from. Because keep in mind, that place was not the original place I started at. I started at a whole nother location. But the person that I was cool with from back at home was friends with the guy from over there. He was over all of them. And I'm not the person to try to get nobody fired. I'm not the person to try to do none of that. But I remember I told my mom what happened, because she worked for the company too. I told her what happened, and she ended up saying, not my daughter. You know how moms be. She's like, text this to this person and let me know what they say. So she gave me the number to all these people, these higher ups. I tell them what happened. When I tell you that they called me immediately, well, first of all, I spoke to two different people. The first person was the district manager over the place that I originally came from. He said, okay, give me one moment, because I had told him what happened first. He said, okay, give me one moment. And then he texted me back not long after. He said, so-and-so is going to give you a call in like an hour. So I said, okay. So the other person called me. When I tell you, he was so apologetic over because I told them everything that I went through there. He was so apologetic. He said, I'm so sorry you went through that. He was like, is there anything we could do for you? You know, any way we could just make this up for you, just let me know. He even offered me a position at another location, but it was too far from where we was living, and it was the winter, so to commute, it was like 45 minutes away from where we lived, and to commute in that type of weather for that distance, that wasn't happening. But you know, he was like trying to offer everything under the sun. But I was just like, it's okay. Honestly, I just need to take some time after having this experience, blah, blah, blah. But I say all that to say that God will allow you to go through certain things just to show you the favor that's really on your life. Now, keep in mind, I didn't do none of that to get nobody in trouble. I didn't even know none of that was going to happen. But they didn't know I had them connections. I didn't even know I had them connections, because when I reached out to the first guy, I didn't originally know that he was friends with the guy that was over all the people there. So I would just reach out to him because my mom said I should. You know, I didn't even know how that was going to turn out. Turns out he was friends with the guy that was over all them people. And I know they didn't see that coming. So that just goes to show you how God moves. Like, although that person, whatever you're going through, although you may be going through a situation where somebody may be trying to make it hard for you, or you could really tell that they don't rock with you, they may be jealous of you, fret not, because you are a child of God. And God will use anybody. It don't matter if it's somebody that don't even want you here. God will use them to bless you. He'll use them to elevate you. He'll use them to get a blessing to you. And the devil is a liar. I see my neighbors just playing music loud. This never happens. Now all of a sudden when I'm making a video, you know what I'm saying? No, we're going to get this video out anyway. But God will use people that you did not expect to send you a blessing. It don't matter. It don't matter who it is. It could be somebody from the opposing side. He'll still use them to send you a blessing. So although you may be for those people who may be in situations where they like, man, I don't get why I'm in this situation. Like, what's going on? I'm a child of God. Like, I'm supposed to be elevated. He may have you in a season of humility. Because when I was working, the first story that I told y'all, when I was working that job, I didn't understand why I had to work so hard when everybody else was not. I didn't get it. I still did it, but I didn't understand it. But I still pushed through. And at the end, I saw the labor. I saw the fruits of my labor. I saw why I had to do it. And God used the people who may not have liked me, who may not have been seeing eye to eye with me. He used those people to get a blessing to me in the end. So I really hope that encourages you and motivates you, because I know what it's like to be in the unknown, and I understand why you got to go through certain things. But know that you got a God. You got a winning God on your side. You don't just have anybody on your side. You got a God that already declared victory on your side. Okay? Just remember that. But as you can see, I still have my food to eat, because honestly, I don't know how people do mukbangs and talk and eat. I just can't do it. I can't sit here and just have food in my mouth and y'all seeing it and just talk. I don't know. But if y'all want to see more videos like this, let me know. I really did enjoy making this video. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. And I will see y'all in the next video, okay? Peace, love, and blessings. Mwah.